welcome back guys. Alex here with another Super Nintendo collection video. This is probably going to be one of the biggest pickups, Snes pickup videos I've ever done. I've got so many games here to get through. And I know in the last couple of videos I've been editing a lot and showing you gameplays of a lot of the games. But because there are so many games here and they've been building up and I've kept meaning to get a video out, and it's like, oh, you know, it's building up and it's building up. I'm just going to have to just get it out there. Because I'm trying to get the collection back, but I'm trying to get the collection back in a completely different way. So what I'm trying to do is compile my top 100 Super Nintendo games. A bit like what Superplay did back in the day with its top 100, but taking out the ones, you know, in their list, like the sports games, Madden, you know, and stuff like that, I've got no interest in, and adding in mine. Because I've been playing Super Nintendo for such a long time now, I've got a good feel of what I like and what I like to go back to. So that's what I've been doing, basically, picking out. I've got a list of actually 150 odd games, but you know, I have got to narrow it down because I really do want to draw a line under it, because the hobby is getting so expensive and it is just constantly buying and buying and buying. But I do want to compile my top 100 Super Nintendo games and look at them on my shelf and be proud of them, you know, and look at them and think, yeah, I'm going to go and play that today. You know, I want games that I'm going to pick up and play. And I'm pretty much there. There's not many left I need. Maybe probably about 10 or 15 left, to be honest with you, but it will need fine tuning, so there's plenty more videos coming. But guys, I've got over 20 games to show you in this video, so I'm not going to be able to show you loads of gameplay snippets in all of them. I will for some of the more obscure ones, but a lot of them you're just going to have to look up yourself on YouTube, and there's plenty of videos that you can go and see walkthroughs or gameplays of. But let's start with this box, because this box here, this bundle I got on eBay, I bought, and I paid, what was it, 300 quid for, but it was only one item I was interested in, and it's actually a console, and I think it's going to be at the bottom here somewhere, and maybe a couple of the other Super Famicom games, but the rest, there's a lot of power in here which I've got no interest in, which I'm going to sell on, and hopefully recoup my money, and then hopefully the item that I do want, I would have acquired quite fairly cheaply. That's what we all do, isn't it, really? If we buy a bundle, you pick out what you want and flog off the rest. So this is how it came. All bubble wrapped up. And we've got a few American games in here. We've got Super Black Bass, which is a fishing game. Now, I don't mind fishing games, to be honest with you, and I will give this a go, but whether it will make my top 100, probably not. So I probably will move that one on. We've got a few loose games in here, a few PAL games. Mario Paint, which I've got no interest in at all. Kirby's Dream Course. Haven't played that, actually. I'm going to give that a go, see what that's like. And Kirby's Ghost Trap, which is like a Puru type game, you know, like a Tetris-y type game. But, you know, if I liked any one of those games, I'd want it boxed. Now we've got the more interesting stuff here. We've got Dragon Ball Z Super Famicom game, which I have never played. So I am very interested to see what this is like. It looks like a beat-em-up or a fighter, one-on-one fighter. So that might be nice to keep. Is it complete? Yeah, it's got the instructions in there, and it's got the bag as well, which is quite nice. So I'd be interested to see what that's like. I think this actually got a PAL release, but not an American release. I think that is. So there's a few PAL exclusives, you know, stuff like that, that never got released in America. This one I will definitely be keeping because I haven't got, and it is Puzzle Bubble. You know, brilliant game, absolutely brilliant game. Whether it will make my top 100, I don't know. We'll have to see, because there is so many fantastic Super Nintendo games. But, you know, I will keep the odd one like this. So it might flow over to 150, but what I'm trying to do is obtain all the really good ones for the top 100. Then if something comes along, you know, I'm not going out my way like I am now. I'm actively searching for the games that I really want. And once I've got that top 100, I won't be actively searching. If something comes up, then I might grab it, you know, something like this. And then we've got Swiv, or on the North American car, it's called Firepower 2000, which is a pretty decent vertical shooter where you can change into, you know, you can change into the Jeep, or you can change into the aircraft. It is a good shooter, and it probably would make my top 100 Super NES games. This is not in a great state though, guys. It's got really bad corner wear, but it is complete. And I did try getting these stickers off, but unfortunately they are well on there. There's no way of me getting them off without ruining all the artwork on the bottom of it, so I just left it. So next up, we're getting there, guys. Look, we're getting there. We've got Lemmings, which I've already got, so I'll be selling this one. This is a North American box. Good little game when you play with the mouse. And I think there was 2 Tribes as well, you know, which was the sequel, which I've never played, and I don't know if that would make my top 100, to be honest with you. Super Double Dragon, which is not a bad game. I'm not that passionate about it, and I've already got this anyway, so, and this is quite a pricey game. I think you'd probably get about 80 quid, 100 quid for this game, depending on condition. This is probably more like the 80, 70 quid mark, because it's missing a, is it missing a flap? No, it's not missing a flap. It's got the instructions. It's just the flap is bent back inside, but it is complete. It's just a bit rough around the edges. You know, and SNES games nowadays, guys, it's really hard to find minty ones. And what a lot of people doing now are grading their SNES games, which I think is a crying shame. You know, it just makes it harder and harder for people to pick up these games and play them. So I'm no fan of grading whatsoever, to be honest with you. Battletoads in Battle Maniacs, which is a fighter, which I'm sure I owned before and wasn't that bothered. Wasn't that bothered by it because I don't like the theme. I was never really a big Turtles fan. I think, you know, I'm a bit older, so I can't relate to this kind of thing anyway. But I don't think it's a bad fighter. I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to give it a second chance and see if I like it, you know, and try and get over the theme. But I think it got a pretty good score in Super Play, so I'm going to play through that before I make my mind up. How you all doing, guys, anyway? What have you been picking up? Have you been picking up anything decent recently? Honestly, guys, I've got so many games to show you. As I said in my last video, I've had a bit of a lull on YouTube, and I think it's just the daunting aspect of editing and setting everything up and stuff like that. But, you know, there were so many lovely comments on my last video. It kind of gave me a little bit of a push and got me back into the mood to do it again. So here I am. We've got Bomberman, PAL, which is in a pretty poor state, to be honest with you, but it is complete. Aerobiz, which looks really boring. Some sort of aircraft flight sim kind of, I don't know, management game. And so I will definitely be moving that one on. I don't see the point of just keeping games for the sake of it, unless you're going for a complete collection, of course, but I just don't have the room. I just don't have the room. Once I've done with the Super Nintendo, I've got my top 100, then I'll move on to the Mega Drive and maybe get my top 50 Mega Drive games. But the NES, the Famicom, there's another system I've been buying loads for recently, and I need to upload a video for because I've just bought so many games. This game here would probably make my top 100. It is Unirally. Thought this was a pretty good game. I think it's by, yeah, it is an in-house game. I think it's by HAL. Is it by HAL? Not sure. It doesn't say on there. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. I'd have to play through it again. I know it's a really good two-player game. It had fantastic reviews back in the day. We've got Plock. Now, this is in lovely condition. Power game. Lovely box art, as you can see there. But it's PAL, so I shall be moving that on. And I'm pretty sure I do have Plock on North American anyway. We're getting to the bottom now, guys. We've got NFL Quarterback Club, American football game, which I wouldn't play. I don't even know the rules of American football, so I'll be moving that one on. And IREM's the Skins game, which is a golf game, which actually looks pretty good. And I don't mind golf games. If it's anything like Neo Geo golf game, what's it called? I'm having a look, Turf Masters. If it's anything like that, I'll be keeping this. But yeah, it's quite nice. It's got the hang tab as well on there. I'm not a big fan of those actually. If I could get that off, but I don't think it will come off. When you use that label remover, it only really gets on the paper labels, not these plastic ones, because it's got to eat through the paper, get to the glue, and then it kind of dissolves the glue, but it can't do that with these plastic hang tabs, so I probably won't get that off. But it doesn't bother me, it really doesn't. I've got a few like that, to be honest with you. We've got Donkey Kong Country Free, PAL, which is pretty cool. Now, I've been after Donkey Kong 2 and 3 North American for ages, absolutely ages, and it is in this pile here, which I'm going to show you. I finally got them, so I'll show you those in a bit. But yeah, I'm so happy to get this. But this is the PAL one, so I'll be moving this on. And what else we've got? We've got a mouse. We've got a mouse in here. I'm not sure what these go for now, but I'll give that a clean up because I've already got about 2 or 3 of these, and I'll move that on. That's obviously for lemmings, isn't it? But the really interesting thing in this bundle is this, and I've never seen this come up before. It's Super Players. It's like a junior Super Nintendo, and what it does is it plays all the regions. So I thought that was quite interesting. Be quite nice to have. I mean, I love the Super Nintendo so much. I've got the Japanese set up, I've got the American, and I've got the PAL. I like all the different versions. I'd like to get the satellite view as well, which would look cool. Just as a sort of, you know, a museum piece in there. Just a bit of history of the Super Nintendo. But this is interesting. Obviously, it's I don't know if it's like a Korean or, but it is 50 and 60 hertz. So it'll play both regions. And here we are. Here it is. Interesting little system. Tiny little console. And you can slot both regions in there, which is pretty cool. I just want to see what it actually looks like, what the picture's like. Be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm going to keep that. I think that's a nice little piece to add to my Super Nintendo collection. Let's just have a look at the controls, because the controls look really naff actually. Yeah, they are. Oh, I don't know, they're not too bad. See, they've got no Nintendo on there. Made in China. Can't be well dodgy, aren't they? It feels alright though, they do feel okay. Pretty responsive, but there's something to feel about the plastic that's not quite right compared to the Nintendo official ones. So yeah, I won't put all that back because it can take me ages. So that was my first pickup, the big box bundle. Now, we've got a ton of games here to get through, guys. Where do we start? So these are the ones I've picked off eBay, I've picked off Facebook groups, and you know what? Some of these are like 2 months old, these pickups, so I ain't going to be able to tell you all the prices for them because I just don't write things like that down. Some of them I probably paid the going rate, and hopefully some of them I think I got a good deal. I'm always looking for deals. But the first one, and this is a major grail Super Nintendo game for a lot of people. I've just started playing it and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's a very unusual game, and I've watched loads of videos on it. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and get this because it does look cool. And actually, I'm starting to get in more into my. This is an RPG, by the way. It is Earthbound. You know, this is probably one of the most expensive games on the Super Nintendo. Not the most expensive game. I know Rendering Ranger is still up there. Probably is the most expensive one. But this one I've never played before, and I've just started playing it, and it's very quirky. The music's very off, but I do like the combat. The combat's really different, and you know, it is renowned as being one of those cult classics that you have to play, or at least have to own. If you're a Super Nintendo collector, you have to play Earthbound. So I bit the bullet, paid out for it, and I'm really chuffed to have this in this collection. It's in really good condition. It's got the manual, it's got the scratch and sniff cards in there. And this is only going up in value, guys. This has just gone up in value. In the last 3 years, it's gone crazy money. But it's in fantastic condition. It really is. So I'm really chuffed to get this. And I'm enjoying playing through it. If you don't know anything about Earthbound, go over and watch the Angry Video Game Nerds video on Earthbound. It's the most hilarious video I've ever seen. It is so funny. Me and my girlfriend watched it in bed. My partner, and we were in hysterics because she was hearing his commentary. Just thinking, what the hell is this game? It's so bizarre, and I love stuff like that. I just love the bizarre. I love the Japanese bizarre. It's what I love about Japanese gaming and import gaming. They're just out there. You don't get that on the Xbox and stuff like that. It's all very kind of, well, I don't think the Western's got as good as imagination as the Japanese. You have to look at Dark Souls, don't you? And Castlevania, Metroid, they're all just fantastic games with amazing imaginative enemies and bosses. And this is one of them, mate. It's absolutely mad as a hatter type game. Right, next up is, there's loads more, guys. There's loads more really cool games here. We have the Mega Man or Rockman series. I'm just missing Rockman X or Mega Man X, so I picked up Rockman 3. Now, I've only ever played X, so I'm really excited to play these games. And of course, this is the cheaper way to buy these games. If you want the North American games, then you're talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And, you know, I don't mind doing it for some games like Earthbound and some other games, but there's no way I can do it for all. So this is the cheapest option. They play perfectly well. You can play it perfectly well with Japanese text. It doesn't matter. And these are in great condition. So I've got Rockman X3, Rockman X2, which is nice, and Rockman 7. And by the way, guys, the guy I bought the Earthbound off was the same guys I bought these off, and there's a few more here that I'm going to show you. And he was brilliant to deal with, absolutely brilliant. What a lovely guy. You know, when you're buying something like that off Facebook, which is where I got Earthbound, you've got to be a bit careful. And he was great. He sent me videos. He opened up the cart, showed me the number, the serial number. He said he had it in his collection. He had an amazing collection, so I knew straight away he was legit. Because I have been burnt on a few Snes games. In fact, recently I bought Wild Guns, and it turned up with this game. So I bought both Wild Guns, which you see in the background here playing on the Switch, and Ninja Warriors again. I could see that this was original because it's got some wear and tear. You can see it's a 30-year-old game, but the Wild Guns turned up and it was just in pristine condition. I just thought, no, there's something wrong about this. Opened the cart up, and it had Nintendo on it, but there had no serial number on the actual PCB. and the alarm bells started ringing. But if you go onto Snes Central, which I did, all they've got is the PAL and North American carts, the PCB. But there's no picture of the Japanese one, so I still was none the wiser. So my good friend Paul posted a picture of my PCB and his, because he bought one as well and got a good deal. And a lot of people chimed in and said, no, that's a fake. So luckily enough, it's gone back and I have been reimbursing that. But you've got to be so careful, guys. There's so many fakes out there. And you know what? I don't mind a bit of the wear and tear. It just shows that it's original. You know what you're getting into. This is a brilliant game. Ninja Warriors again, one of my favourite games. Stupidly, I sold this. I really enjoy this game. It's like Kung Fu Master. But you've got more move sets. Graphically, it's brilliant. Music's brilliant. I think the characters are great. You know, you've got the robotic ninja, you know, a robot ninja and a female ninja. It's just a brilliant game. Really cool game. So really chuffed to get that back in the collection. Next, we've got a bit of an oddity. I used to own this and I sold it. It's Savalion. Which is a port of the arcade game, and it's kind of like you take on this dragon and he breathes fire and he's going through mazes. You've got to work your way through a maze, and at the end there's an end of level boss. But it's not an easy game. It's not an easy game. It's frustrating, but it's just something about it I like. I just wish I could get a bit better at it. But you know, it's not an expensive game to get, so I picked it up. I just like to have this back in the collection. This would make my top 100, but it would be cheating really, because it's 3 games in one and they're NES games, so I couldn't include this. But this is a great cart. I recommend getting this, guys. It is it's the Caravan Shooting Collection, and it's got Star Force on there, Star Soldier, and Hector 87, which are 3 classic NES games. And it's just nice to have this on the Super Nintendo. So I think they would have used this for competitions back in the day. And it's really cheap, this game, guys. You can pick this up for like 25 quid. And you've got 3 great games on there. Hector 87, Star Force and Star Soldier. You've got to have this in your collection. It's brilliant. And what's nice about my collection is, you know, I've got half of my collection is in North American and half of it is in Super Famicom. I really like that. Because I like both systems. I even like the PAL system. I love the PAL box art. You know, in fact, I've even been picking up a few PAL exclusives. You've got to. And I think one of them is going to be in here. Next up, we've got Super Bonk. But the Super Famicom version, which I've owned before, North American, but that is shot up in price. So I got these 2 for about 80 quid. So you've got Super Bonk 1, Super Bonk 2. I loved Super Bonk. I played this a lot years ago. I think I even did a video on it, but I've never played Super Bonk 2. I think it's even wackier. So I'm really excited to be playing Super Bonk 2. I mean, such a mad game. It's so mad. And brilliant box art as well. Look at that, guys. Awesome box art. Really chuffed to get those. Next up, we got Super HQ by Taito. Beautiful box art. And it's an okay game. You know, I actually enjoy playing it. It's very arcadey. In fact, I've got it running on there, on that system now. I love the music. And it's a bit different. They've done it a bit different. They've got it sort of like a driver's point of view through the car. So a little bit different than the arcade. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a nice little playthrough. So whether this would make my top 100, I'm not sure. It's a good game. I do like it. Oh, guys, the next game. Let's just have a sip of my drink. The next game is awesome. The next game, another one of these games that I never got. I wanted for ages, but never got it back in the day. It is Gundam Wing, Endless Duel. This game, guys, is unbelievably good. It is probably one of the best fighters on the system. It's up there with Street Fighter. It's that good. A hidden gem, I think. It is a hidden gem. I don't know if many people know about this game, but it plays so fluidly. It's such a good fighter. It sounds, the effects are so satisfying, you know. It's just a brilliant game to watch other people play, and to play yourself. I mean, I can't recommend this enough. This game here goes for about 120 quid. And I got this for about 90, but I wasn't that chuffed with the actual box. It's not in the best condition. I think I might look, because I like this game so much, I might look for a one that's in slightly better condition. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's got a massive crease down here. So it's been squashed at some point. But you know, it's not too bad. But I think I should have spent another 20 quid and got, you know, a nice solid cardboard box version of the game. But guys, this is absolutely brilliant. And you know, we might do a gameplay of this right at the end. It is that good. It's so good. So not only did I pick up Earthbound, but a week before that I picked up Mother 2, which is the same game, and this is sealed. Can you imagine if this was Earthbound sealed, how much it would go for? 50 quid I paid for this, £50 on eBay, and even an open one goes for about 80 quid. But I shall keep this just as a nice display piece to go along with Earthbound, because I think that's pretty damn cool, isn't it? Look at that. Awesome. So, yeah, I picked this up because I was thinking, you know, I'm never going to see an Earthbound at, you know, not a decent price, because it's not a cheap game, but, you know, a reasonable price that people are not going to rip me off, and a genuine seller. So I thought I'd just get this, maybe just play through this. But then when that did turn up, I thought I've got to go for it. So that's exactly what I did. Right, next up is an old game that I used to have in my collection, absolutely loved. Such a fun game. It is Battlecross. Now, this is a quirky little kind of racing game, and it plays a little bit like a top-down Excite Bike, or Mario Kart even. Mario Kart. Your motorbikes going around the track, a bit like Championship Sprint. And it's a fun little game. It's all in Japanese. But you know what I do now, on my good friend Paul's recommendation? I have Google Translate on my phone, and I just put it up against the screen of the TV, and I can read the menu. So really now, a lot of these Super Famicom games are accessible because of the brilliance of Google Translate. You can access a lot of these. And this is such a fun little game. This would probably make my top 100. I really enjoy playing Battlecross. I'm so chuffed to get that back in the collection. In fact, this is, let me tell you a funny story. I sold this to a website. I think they're called Retro Games. And I sold all my Super Famicom games and North American games to this guy, and took them round to his house, and he gave me a big wad of money. And then he relisted them on his site, and they've been up there since I sold them to him. That's what, 3 years ago? And compared to eBay prices, they were dirt cheap. So I bought a lot of them back. So this is one of them that I brought back. Is there any more? I can't remember. Yeah, so this one as well was my old game. So I've got my 2 old games back, which is unbelievable. So happy about that. Right, next up we have a bunch of games here, a series of games, a subset of games that I've wanted for a long time. And, you know, I'm happy to get the Super Famicom version of these games, because I just love the box art on these. They look awesome. It is the Final Fight series. In fact, the guy I bought Earthbound off did me a deal on all of these. So I've got Final Fight Guy, Final Fight Tough, which is the most expensive one, and that was the last one they made. Final Fight 2, and the original Final Fight. Now, which one do I like best? Well, I have been playing them this week. I like the original one because I think graphically it looks the best, slightly. And I like the music. The music's more memorable in this game. But it's not as fluid as Tough. Tough is a little bit quicker, plays a little bit quicker. I think the movesets are a little bit better. And there's more characters in it. So I would say that this one is the best without a doubt. But I do prefer the original for the music. That's the one I remember back in the day. But really chuffed to get all the final fights. For the first time, I've got all of them in my collection. And they look absolutely fabulous together. Really nice subset to get that. Really chuffed to get all of those. Really, really cool. Right, we've got some more big hitters here, guys. How many more big hitters can he bring to the table? Well, this is it. If you want the top 100 games, you've got to get them. You've got to get them. And the next one is Turtles in Time. So last time I did own this, I had a copy that was in such a bad state. But I always said to myself, oh, well, it's a Turtles game. I'm not that bothered. I don't like the theme. But the game is really good. The game is really good. And this is not in amazing condition, but I think I got this for under 100 quid, which I think is not bad for a Turtles game. It's got the hang tab there, and it's got a lot of wear around the corner, and it's got a sticker there right at the end there, which is, I could probably get that off actually, and it's got another one there. So, you know, for the purists who want it, you know, in such mint condition, this probably wouldn't appeal to them, but, you know, the manual's in good condition. It's even got a dust cover as well, which is good. I don't care. If I could get my top 100 games in this sort of condition, I would absolutely be happy. You know, they've been played, they've been looked after, and they've been played, which is the main thing, you know, and they will still carry on being played. So that's cool to get. Obviously, if they are in amazing condition, it's a bonus. You can get a good deal out of it. Right, here's a game. Well, that I totally regret selling back in the day, and I've managed to get it back. One of my top 10 favourite games on the Super Nintendo. I'm so chuffed to get this back. It is the fantastic Pocky Rocky 2. I don't know why I sold this. Well, I do know, I needed the money. But I'm chuffed to get this back, guys. And it's in really good condition as well. Really good condition. Again, if you're buying these sort of games, make sure you open it up, check the serial number, matches with Snes Central. That's the website you need to go on to, check all the serial numbers, go on there, check it's legit, and it's got the manual as well. Which, if I remember last time when I owned Pocky Rocky 2, I bought the game without the manual. Then I ended up buying a copy manual. Then I found the original manual eventually, but I think I paid a lot for it. But I'm just happy to get this back because it is such a great game. And I can't wait for the new game. They're bringing a new Pocky Rocky game out, Kiki Kai Kai, for the Switch. Looks amazing. You know, I just can't wait for that. I think that's coming out soon, you know. I think it might be coming out this month. I really can't wait for that. Really chuffed to get that back in the collection. That is a top 10 game for me, without a doubt. It is a funny one, guys. PAL game, because this didn't come out in North America, and I don't believe it got a Japanese Super Famicom released either. It is Micro Machines 2. And this is definitely a top 100 game. It's a lot of fun, especially with 2 players. This is in fantastic condition. Really good condition. So it's in my top 100 finally. It's a top-down racing game, but you know, you're going through all sort of wacky areas, you know, on top of a table, going through salt and pepper pots, you know, into the garden. It's just a crazy, fun game to play, and thoroughly deserves to be in the top 100 Super Nintendo games. I think this is the last one, is it? Micro Machines 2, the Turbo Tournament Edition. Not sure if there's another one after this, but I thought I'd grab that. That was a fairly cheap one. I think there's a lot of PAL games that are quite cheap. This was about 40 quid, I think, which was good. So I've got itchy nose tonight. Don't know why. Right, last 3 games. We've got through a hell of a lot, haven't we, tonight? Got to thank my friend Paul Buller for this. picking this up for me. I've wanted this for ages. This game is good once you get past the first level. The first level is so frustrating. But once you get past that, there's a good game to be found with Indiana Jones. And I never owned this back in the day, and I didn't own it a couple of years ago either. So this is the first time this has been in my collection. It's by LucasArts. I mean, they've got the whole film down to a key in this game. The music, the levels, it follows the whole storyline of all of the films, I think. Yeah, the first 3 films. So yeah, I think they did a great job with this game. So I'm really chuffed to play this and have this in my collection. Finally. And next up, we've got 2 games here that I thought I'd have to pay a hell of a lot of money for. I haven't seen them come up on eBay, UK eBay, for ages. The only ones that I did see were coming up on American eBay. So I do go on USA eBay. If I do see stuff that's going a lot cheaper, I will email or message the seller and ask him whether he will export to UK. But on this occasion, 2 popped up on UK eBay, and I was so chuffed. And I got both of these for under 100 quid. Not both of them, sorry. I think this was about 70 and this one was about 80. But they're in fantastic condition. And now I've got that subset of Donkey Kong Country games, which would easily make my top 100 Super Nintendo games. They're all brilliant. Fantastic platform games by Rare. And, you know, I thought I was going to have to pay a hell of a lot more. For some reason, they go for so much more in America than they do in the UK. Because everyone wants power, don't they? You know, there's not many USA Super Nintendo collectors in UK, I wouldn't imagine. But again, if you want these games, you can get the Super Famicom versions, or even cheaper. You could probably pick up all 3 Donkey Kong Country games for under 50 quid on the Super Famicom. They're that cheap, you know, and they're perfectly playable. It's just that, you know, I've already got Donkey Kong 1. It's in amazing condition. I wanted to complete the subset, North American, and I finally got them. And they're complete with all the leaflets and the manuals and everything inside. Even the baggie, look, the posters. And you get a poster with it as well. Manual's in fantastic condition. It's got the baggie. Doesn't have a dust cover though. So I have to rectify that. But yeah, really chuffed to get that. So guys, that is one hell of a Super Nintendo collection video. I hope you enjoyed it. There's loads more. I've probably got about the same again to show in another video. I've been picking that many up. Some really obscure games. We are going to play a little bit of Gundam Wing Endless Duel now. I've got to show you this game. It is so good. So I'm going to show you a bit of this, guys. Take a look at this. Until then, guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Here it is, guys. Brilliant game. This is such a good game. Gundam Wing Endless Duel. So we've got story mode, versus mode, trial mode, options. Let's just check the options. We're on normal, which is good. Stereo, that's all we need. Then we'll just go straight into story mode. And we get to pick a character. And they've all got different weapon sets. So if you look here on the left hand side here, this one's quite an average player. This one's got a really strong weapon set. So you've got defense, speed, power. I'll go with the average one in the middle, just to start off with. Zoom you in. The music's great, the sound effects are fantastic. And you can pull off like Street Fighter moves, like, you know, Haroukens, which is fire. At the moment it's doing me. I'm the blue one, by the way. Ah, he's done me. He's done me already. This is on normal. Okay, we've got another try. We've got another go. Oh, that's the move I was looking for. So I'm going down and then left in a half circle to perform that trick. Yes, got him. So we're even Steven. Whoever wins this next round is the winner of this match. It's a battle of guns, so I'm not saying much because I'm totally engrossed in this game. Oh my gosh, I really want to win this match. Yes, we've done him. Brilliant. Brilliant. And that was quite tight, so I can imagine it's going to get a lot harder now. Who have we got next? Cortane, Sandrock. Get one in there early. Ah. Yes. Went straight in for the attack offence. We're one up already. So if I win the next one, I'm done him, guys. But graphically, I mean, the big sprites, graphically it looks amazing. And just very satisfying sound effects when you hit. Oh, bit of a grapple going on there. And again, I'm going to lose this one. Ah, it's done me. Oh my God. Need a bit more practice. Come on, he's got to win this one. Come on. Not doing much. I've got a feeling he's going to attack me in a minute. I'm doing him, guys. I'm doing him. Yes. Awesome. Bring on the next. So what do you think, guys? Do you think this cool? I mean, I've only ever heard of this game until recently, the last year. Just goes to show, doesn't it? So many games out here just never heard of. I mean, it's totally engrossing. Oh, it's gone invisible. He's tough, this guy. Just fire at him. Oh my god. He's going to do me. He's done me. He's tough, that one. Death Scythe. He's tough. Oh, Jesus, that's some sort of special move. He's done me, guys. He's done me. Ah, he was tough. Death Scythe. He's killed me. How cool is that? What a cool game. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a fantastic game. If you can pick this game up or at least play it on an EverDrive, please do. You'll really enjoy it, I promise you. It's such a good game. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.